Hello friends! Welcome back to another Historybounding Capsule wardrobe video. For those of you who are new, welcome! Just a quick overview on how I structure my capsule before we get started. I have 4 themed modules, and each module operates on a 1-1-2-3 system. That is, 1 dress, 1 layering piece, 2 skirts, and 3 tops, totaling in 26 pieces. But wait, isn't 7 times 4 28? Yes, but rules are made to be broken, and I'll explain more as we get into the video. The dress for this module is a black watch flannel, Jane Eyre meets J.W. Waterhouse painting style of dress. I have a nearly 30-minute video chronicling the entire construction of this dress, so I won't say too much about it here. My favorite way to wear it this winter has been with this crocheted collar I picked up on Depop. The dress is a little bit formal for these plague times, but I always feel like a lady out of a gothic novel when I wear it. It's been fun. My layering piece is this massive black sweater that I've had for years. It's a winter staple for me. You'll notice as we go through that my layering pieces really aren't for fashionable layering, they're much more for warmth. For skirts, we have this black 18th century style skirt that I think has been in every capsule I've made since last summer. It's just one of those really versatile pieces that kind of works for every season. It's lightweight but not so lightweight that you're freezing cold, and layers well over a petticoat. We have yet another familiar face, this Pendleton skirt that I decided to keep from my fall capsule. I really like this skirt, but I didn't wear it very much as those COVID pounds have started to make it really uncomfortable. For tops, we have this simple gray mottled long sleeve. This is another you will have seen if you watched my fall capsule. This flowy pink top is one that I threw in on a whim to fill space, and I kind of wish I hadn't, since it doesn't really fit my color scheme, which is burgundy, navy, forest green, and neutrals, in case you were wondering. The last top for this module is this poofy sleeve top that I really like, except it's a bit big on me, and it's got this really unattractive zipper in the collar. Definitely one of the weirdest history-ish things I've found at the thrift store. The dress for this module is actually a skirt and vest that are held together by metal rings that I sewed into the lining of the vest. The skirt is too long to be worn on its own, but the vest can be, but I always think of them as one unit, so I forget that I have the vest as an option. You can see the rings that are sewn into the inside of the vest, and then the skirt has yarn ties that keep it all together. The layering piece for this module is this short gray sweater. Whenever I wear it under the dress like you just saw, I always feel like an old salty sea captain. The first skirt is a pleated black watch from my very brief private school days. This isn't the warmest skirt, but it looks nice with tights underneath it, and it's kind of got this weird waterproof quality to it. I mentioned in my last video that I found this skirt really unflattering. Some of you gave me really good suggestions on what to do with it, and I ended up adding ribbon suspenders. It's cute, but I still don't feel great in it, so it's time to say goodbye. I'll be listing it on Depop soon if any of you want to give it a home. I'll put a link in the description. Remember that inconsistent math? This is where it comes in. There's only 2 tops in this module because I didn't get around to making a third. So this module only has that tight black top and this floaty black blouse. I love it, but it's so cold, which means I really haven't had an opportunity to wear it until just now as it's starting to get into early spring. It's funny how I like the shirring on this top, but not on the skirt. And we're starting this module off with layers because the dress I was planning to make for it is still in pieces on the floor behind me. Whoops. Anyway, this is just a basic black button-up with cable knit designs. Here we have my trusty Stuart plaid. Definitely my favorite fall and winter skirt. I live in this thing. And now with more petticoat, which you can learn to make by watching the tutorial that is up on my channel right now. It has built-in bloomers, they keep you super warm, would highly recommend. This is a drawstring skirt that I made a couple of years ago out of a circular tablecloth, and it kind of looks it. I'm a tad self-conscious about this skirt. but it's really fun and twirly, and this is actually the original inspiration for the petticoat bloomers. This top is the boobliest shirt that ever boobed boobily. It is so tight. This is the only thing I managed to make for this capsule, and I was working with a very small scrap of velvet. It's really fun though. I've learned that tight-fitting clothes can actually be quite flattering even if you don't have the heavy quotes, ideal body, so long as you know which parts to emphasize and de-emphasize. It takes a little while and everyone's different, but once you learn how to dress your shape, it's a huge confidence boost. Jumping from very tight to very loose, my La Bella La Bette shirt returns. This one is another top that's just too cold and I shouldn't have put it in, but I really wanted to see my beast's beautiful face again. Look at him, he's so pretty. And lastly, we have this vintage green top that was also in my fall capsule. For the dress for this module, we have this really fun gold pinafore that I made about a year ago at the beginning of lockdown. It was inspired by Elizabethan clothing and made out of a curtain. It has pearl beads at the top, and the bib is lightly corded to simulate a structured bodice. Oh, and it has pockets, but the openings are so small that they're pretty much useless. I can't fit my hands in them. You live and you learn. My layering piece is this so dark navy it may as well be black sweater, another holdover from my private school days. There was a very large, very Christian, think sword and Bible crest on the right, which there's nothing wrong with, but it's not at all my aesthetic, and I got really sick of the where do you go to school question, especially since I've been out of high school for longer than I was in it, so I covered it with the Rose of York. Next is my beloved burgundy ruffle skirt. You've seen it before, I've praised it endlessly, nothing has changed, it's great. Let's move on. Behold yet another skirt you have seen in every capsule and will see in the next. My denim skirt is a staple and I love it. And another you've seen before, my peplum knit. She's a good one, but extremely fast fashion and is starting to look a little worse for wear. This is my favorite new addition to my wardrobe. It's such a delightfully in-your-face sweater, while being reserved enough that I feel comfortable wearing it. It's very 80s Does Rococo, and I absolutely love it. Despite my taste for alternative fashion, I am very conservative when it comes to bright color and loud prints, so I consider it quite the accomplishment that I have not only found a statement piece, but a statement piece this eye-catchy that I am overjoyed to be wearing. The last top is this poet shirt that you will have also seen from my fall capsule. I think I've finally gotten the hang of wearing this. It's been really fun to experiment with. I decided to get rid of the favorite outfits from each module section of the video, since I almost never dress solely out of one module. Instead, I'm just going to show you outfits pulled from the whole capsule. If you want an outfit that makes you feel elegant and mysterious, this is it. I was trying to embody the mourning widow aesthetic. I couldn't resist whipping out the black lace. I'm not sorry. The next outfit is a good example of what I wear casually during the winter months. Something loose and warm while still feeling put together. I'm not the sort of person who has just wanted to lounge in pajamas during quarantine. It's good for my mental health to get up and get dressed, and this is usually what I wear. Here's another example of a very casual outfit, because for all of the eccentric pieces I have in my wardrobe, I often dress very simply. A pin helps when I feel a bit plain to sort of spruce up an otherwise kind of dull outfit. Then again, I'm kind of the queen of dull. I'm rapidly getting to the point where I think gray may be my favorite color. I've been trying to learn new ways to style large sweaters and am generally striving to look less like a shapeless potato in the wintertime. It's been fun discovering that certain pieces are more versatile than I thought they were. Also, I never wear this pocket. except for when I go on walks. It just kind of looks weird. I'm not sure what I think about it. I really like 18th century pockets, but I don't know. I'm not sure they really look that good on the outside of clothing. Maybe I just need to make another one. Lastly, an outfit with a statement sweater. This was a combo I was always excited to wear. I feel intensely colorful in it, which is a fairly foreign sensation for me, but in this case, not an unpleasant one. You'll notice I didn't mention shoes or accessories in this capsule. The shoes are because I think I left the house maybe 20, 30 times this winter, and when I did, I wore winter boots or Mary Janes. For those of us who are still staying home as much as possible, shoes really aren't given much thought. You might have noticed the gray slippers I was wearing. I either wore those most of the time in the house or just socks like everyone else. As for accessories, I decided to give myself the freedom to pick from my entire collection, so I didn't include any in the capsule. I thought this would sort of stimulate me accessorizing more, because when I limited my accessories, I found myself getting very tired of them very quickly. But I don't know if it was just it being winter or if I just got overwhelmed, but I accessorized hardly ever. I think it probably had to do with it just being wintertime, and there really isn't much to accessorize for. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I mean, it's COVID, I'm not going anywhere anyway, but especially in the winter. A couple of quick housekeeping things before we wrap up the video. If you don't really care about this sort of thing, feel free to click away now. I won't be offended. The spring capsule will be coming out, but I'm not making any promises on the time frame like I kind of have in the past. That's because I have a huge stack of sewing to do for my spring and summer capsules, and for those capsules, I would say probably about 30 to possibly even 50% of it has yet to be made, and that I need to make over the course of the next 2 months or so. So it could be well into summer before I have the spring capsule finished. So I'm just going to continue to be consistently a season late for these videos, but that's okay. While I really like making these videos, they are deceptively time consuming, especially since I either make any new additions or spend weeks carefully searching thrift stores and Depop for the perfect new addition. They kind of end up being this ominous weight that hangs over my head for the entire season, because even though I have moved into a new capsule, I often don't have it completed and am not ready to film the video yet, and that's why they're so delayed. After I finish my spring capsule, bringing it to a total of 4 capsules, a full complete set of seasons, I'm going to stop doing these capsule videos and move on to other content. I'm not going to stop wardrobe content entirely. I'm just not going to be doing the regular every season, here's what I've been wearing type videos, because as you may have noticed, especially in this video, they're starting to get repetitive because I am working with a quite limited amount of clothing. I would guess I probably only have about 75 pieces in my entire wardrobe, not just in my capsule, because I have gone through a huge purge, a couple of huge purges the last year or so. So I'm slowly starting to reaccumulate clothing that I actually want to wear, but as a result, it makes the capsules quite repetitive. I may occasionally do books or showcase a certain capsule if it's one that I'm really excited about. Maybe I've made a lot of new clothing for it or acquired something that I'm really excited about, and then I'm definitely open to doing something like this again. But I am really excited to move on to other kind of related content, but some entirely new. I also have some ideas for really small, heavily themed capsules that I think could be a lot of fun, but those will be very labor intensive, and that's quite a ways in the future. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now, I am moving to focus a lot on sewing content, particularly where it comes to the Historybounding hiking series, which for all 2 of you who are excited about that, I'm sorry it's been so long. My machine decided to die midway through making that jug cozy, and it has been in the repair shop for a whole month, and they've been very uncommunicative, and it's all been very, very frustrating, but it will come soon. I should have had 2 videos out on that project by now, but it will be out eventually. I'm sorry. It's coming eventually. Hopefully I get a couple of videos out in April about it. As I mentioned a second ago, I'm looking to branch out a little bit as well, so we'll still have the sewing content and a little bit of wardrobe content, but I also have a historical romance book series review in the works that I need to start reading and scripting for in the next week or 2. I also have some bullet journal and art related things that I have planned that I think are going to be a lot of fun, and also just some more general weirdness in the vein of the Creepy PM video that I put out, I think a week ago now. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun this spring and summer. I have a lot of things planned. It would be certainly coming a lot faster if my sewing machine would hurry up and be fixed. Ugh. Anyway, that's all. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!